TR Jankel, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to ABC Yoga. I'm Amy, Bill, and of course we may see an occasional cat as I mute all. And we're going to, if you have a brick, I invite you to put the brick under your lower body with bent knees. You can find a comfortable seat if that feels comfortable. But starting with more of a restorative posture, as we lift up our bottom, you put the brick at that sacral, that triangle bone at the back of your body. You can have the knees touch together or gently open. And just take a deep breath in through the nose. Open up the mouth, let it go. 2 more. We breathe in. We breathe out. Take 1 more beautiful breath in. Nice long exhale. And just pause here for just a few cycle of breaths as we leave whatever we were doing prior to class at the other side of your mat, as we allow the body to settle into our mat space, and we begin to find that connection with our breath. Watching the gentle rising and falling of the chest with each inhalation and exhalation. Begin to deepen your breath. Let's take 2 more here. Take 1 more full inhale. Let it go. And gently remove the brick, put it to the side. And take a beautiful stretch. Extend the legs. Reach the arms up overhead, spread the fingers and toes wide. Take up a lot of space, keep stretching. Good morning, Becky. And then we'll draw those knees together into our chest, finding your elbows or your wrists, and just gently rock side to side in the back body. And we'll keep hold of that right knee, extend the left leg. Find just a couple twists with the ankle in one direction. We'll change direction. Take the left hand on the left hip, the right hand on the right knee, and just open the right knee to the right side of your mat. And then we'll just close it back to center. So we're just lubricating, opening up the hip with some gentle traction of our hands. So you can find some circle movements with the hip here. You're keeping that left hip point grounded. Change direction with that hip knee circle. Then we'll unhinge that right knee. Take both hands on the calf, the ankle, and just gently draw that leg towards your chest till you find the resistance. So it may be a very small movement. Then you'll bring your chin towards your shin, activating that core. We'll take the head and shoulder back on the floor. Take a deep bend in that knee again. Now we'll draw the knee across the body. Extend that right leg. Take your gaze over that right shoulder. Then we'll roll back onto our backs. Extend that right leg. Pause for a full breath in here. A full breath out. We'll take a bend with that left knee. Draw it in towards your chest. We find some ankle twists in one direction. And then in the opposite direction. The right hand roots on top of the right hip. You take that left hand on the knee and just open up that left knee towards the left side of the mat. Then you'll draw that knee back to center. And keeping hold of that knee, just find some knee circles. Let's lubricate that hip in just in a different way this morning. On our backs, you can change direction with that knee hip opener. Then we'll take that knee, hand on that left knee, draw the knee to the left side of the mat, and just gaze over the right shoulder. We'll draw the knee back to center. Now unhinge the knee. Good morning, Hannah. Hand behind the thigh, maybe the calf, as we draw that leg towards the front body. So just notice if this side is really different than the other side. Lift your head and shoulders, your chin towards the shin, begin to activate that core. As you take the head and shoulders back to the mat, you'll take a bend in that left knee. One more time now, you draw it across the body, extend the left arm, just a gentle twist. As we'll roll back onto our body, extend both legs up towards the sky. Again, hands behind the thighs, calves, ankles. Then we'll take a bend behind those knees as we roll backwards and forwards. Massaging that back body. 3 or 4 rocks. We'll find our way to a cross-legged position. You can offset the feet, hands on our thighs, and we'll find those circles with our sits bones rooted. Just opening up the body, rolling it out. Good morning, Steph. Nice to see some of you. First time this year, good morning. So we find those nice big circles in one direction, and then we'll change. Our heart reaches forward, find those sits bones, breathing, stirring up our energy. Beautiful. Let's take one more full revolution here. We'll find ourselves back into the center. Invite your hands to your heart. Bow your forehead to the tips of your fingers as we set an intention. Maybe it's just one word that comes to mind. Nice. We'll whisper that into our heart space, flutter our eyelids open, and we'll find our way into our downward dog. Fingers spread wide. Begin to pedal out those feet. Back of the neck lengthens as you gaze towards the outer edge of the back of your mat, or even drawing your gaze towards your navel. Moving that energy, and then finding our stillness in our downward dog. We externally rotate those shoulders. Let's take a soft bend in our knees. Press your chest a little closer towards those thighs. Can you draw the heels a little closer to the mat? Shake out that head. On an inhalation, we'll find our way into our high plank. Shoulders over those wrists, lift that back body. Now lift those sits bones, gaze towards the back of the mat, find your way into downward dog. We'll do that 3 more times. So move with your breath. We inhale, look straight ahead. Feel the hands, the tops of the feet root into the floor. Now we move from the core, lift those sits bones back into our downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. 2 more. We breathe in, high plank, straighten through those elbows, lift through those sits bones, eyes towards the back of the mat. 1 more time. We inhale to high plank. Stay here or take your knees to the floor. We'll alternate our hands to the opposite shoulder. So you move that lower body very, very little. Just tapping opposite shoulder for 3, for 2, and 1. Downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out the head. Keep your hands where they are. Just gently walk your feet to the tops of the mat. Take the big toes towards one another. We'll find that halfway lift, our spine lengthens. Then slight bend in the knees. Crown of the head towards the floor, so a forward fold with those toes towards one another. If balance is challenged this morning, you can take a slightly wider stance, but take your hands towards the back of your calves. You can keep your hands on your calves, hug those elbows in, and just drop your head. So bend those knees as much as you need to. My chest is compressing against the top of my thighs. Find that breath, spread out the toes. Warming up those hamstrings. One more inhale here. On an exhale, just release the hands alongside your feet. We'll find that halfway lift one more time. Our forward fold, Uttanasana. Then unwind the spine, lines of energy out through the fingertips. We lift our heart. We take a slight back bend, shake out that head as we swan dive forward, navel in and up towards the spine, all the way down towards the earth. We find that halfway lift. We'll step that right foot back into a low lunge, untuck the toes, inhale, extend the arms up towards the sky. So we'll cactus those hands, shake out that head, big breath in, extend the arms, hands to the mat. We'll step the right foot to the left. Good morning, Ringo. We find that halfway lift, our forward fold. Again, halfway lift. This time the left leg comes back. Put the knee to the earth, untuck the toes. We inhale. Maybe a slight back bend. We'll cactus those hands. So open up that heart to the front of the space. Inhale, extend. We'll take the hands to the floor. We'll step the left foot to the right. You're at the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Our forward fold. Inhale, we rise, our feet root. Lines of energy out through the fingertip. Beautiful. We find that slight back bend again. And we swan dive forward. Take your time. Halfway lift. This time a high lunge with the right foot back. We come all the way up into our crescent lunge. And we'll cactus those hands. Reaching that heart forward. We inhale, extend. Take the hands to the floor. We step that right foot to the left. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Again, find that halfway lift. We step the left leg back in that high lunge. Come all the way up. Beautiful. We'll cactus those hands again. Shake out that head. Extend the arms up towards the sky. Now hands to the floor. We'll step the right foot to the back of the mat. High plank. Beautiful. Now our low plank. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Steady breathing. Maybe pedal out those feet. Add a little more movement. Pause here for stillness for 2 more breaths. Take one more inhale here. We let that go. Look forward, bend those knees. Walk, maybe fly to the top. We find that halfway lift. Uttanasana, that forward fold. And rise. Full breath in. We take that slight back bend and swan dive forward. Ride that breath all the way down. We find that halfway lift again. Step that right foot back into that high lunge, into our crescent lunge. We'll cactus those hands out to the side again. Big breath in. Vinyasa, hands to the floor, that left leg back, high to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Steady breathing. Let's take 2 more breaths here. We'll take 1 more inhale. Let that go. Look forward, bend those knees. Walk, maybe fly to the top. We find that halfway lift. Uttanasana. Then rise. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. Again, we find that slight back bend, and then we swan dive forward. Ride that breath all the way down. Beautiful. We find that halfway lift. Now the left leg comes back in that high lunge into our crescent lunge. Come all the way up. We'll cactus those hands out to the side again. Blossoming, open that heart. Extend, hands to the floor, our right leg back from that high plank to our low plank. Beautiful. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Soft eye gaze. Steady breathing. Activating those heels to the floor. Rooting through that forefinger and thumb. See if you can distribute the pressure on the palm so it's not coming into the center of the palm. If you can engage more of the pinky, taking some of that pressure off of our wrists. Take one more breath in. We let that go. Look forward, bend those knees, walk, hop, maybe fly to the top, halfway lift. Uttanasana, as we sit down into our chair, extend those lines of energy out through the fingertips, spread those fingers wide, tuck the tail, and we'll take our hands to our heart center as we fold forward. Beautiful. We find that halfway lift, step or jump those feet back, high to low plank, cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Our right leg lifts. We bend the knee, we stack the hip, that right hip on top of left, engaging that left armpit, level off the chest. Now extend that right leg. We take one knee to our nose, extend that leg back up towards the sky. Now step that leg forward into our crescent lunge. Gaze straight ahead. We'll open into our warrior two. We turn that right palm high, reverse your warrior, and then we'll take the forearm on the thigh, left arm up and over. Pause here, dropping those hips, spreading those toes. Let's take that right forearm off the thigh. Now extend the fingers towards that ankle. Maybe you can go a little deeper. One more breath here. We're using that balance, using our core for our balance. We'll find our way back into warrior two, your vinyasa. Hands to the floor, our right leg back, high to low plank, cobra or up dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Soft eye gaze at the back of the mat. Our left leg lifts. We bend the knee, we stack that left hip on top of the right. Now engage that right armpit. Our chest is level. We'll extend that left leg, take one knee to nose. Extend, point through the toes. Then we take a giant step forward in that crescent lunge, as quiet as possible. As we open into warrior two. Soften those shoulders down the back body. Find that foundation with the feet. That left palm turns up. We reverse our warrior, spreading the ribs wide, fanning those ribs wide. Back through warrior two. Now the left forearm on the thigh, right arm up and over. So settle into those hips. Now using our core, can you take your left forearm off the thigh? Just let it dangle here. Maybe you can go a little deeper. Great time to put the brick there to give you some traction. We take one more breath in. Complete that exhalation back through warrior two into your vinyasa. Hands to the floor. Take your time. Drop your knees if you wish. That baby cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Soft eye gaze at the back of the mat. Coming back to that breath. Deepening the breath. Take one more inhale. Nice long exhale, look forward, deep bend in the knees, step hop, maybe fly to the top, halfway lift again. That deep forward fold into our chair. We just stay here for one inhale, one exhale, hands through heart center as we fold forward. Halfway lift, step or jump those feet back, high to low, cobra or up dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. That right leg lifts again. We bend the knee, we stack the hip. That right leg extends, we take the knee to the nose. We extend, point through those toes. Now step that foot forward into our crescent lunge. Looking straight ahead. So we'll bring our hands to our heart. We'll push off that back leg for Virabhadrasana 3. Maybe it takes a couple of steps or hops. We level off those hips, look straight ahead. Find that balance. That right foot is your foundation supporting you. Let's take 2 more breaths here. There's that slight bend in the right knee that's protecting the hamstring and the lower back. One more inhale here. Complete the exhalation, take a giant step back through our crescent lunge. Our vinyasa, hands to the floor, that right leg back, moving with awareness, high to low, cobra or up dog. Beautiful, downward dog. Eye gaze at the back of the mat. Our left leg lifts. We bend the knee, we stack those hips. Extend the leg. We take one knee to nose, curl, then lengthen. Then that giant step forward into our crescent lunge. Come all the way up. So let's notice where those hands are in space. Can you take them a little higher in line with your ears? You can always cactus those hands. So we'll bring our prayer to our heart. Look straight ahead. We push off that back foot into our Vira 3. Level off those hips. Slight bend in that left knee. So I'm just keeping my hands for this first warrior 3, just by my heart, trying to find where I am in space, find that foot connection, those toes, my heel, it's pulling me to the center of the earth. From that foundation, begin to deepen that breath. We take one more inhale here. Let it go. A giant step back through that crescent lunge into your vinyasa. So left leg back, your high to low plank. Drop the knees if you wish. Make it your own. What's feeling good for your body this morning? We'll meet in downward dog. We pause and breathe. Slow down that breath. Shake out that head. And we'll just take those big toes in the center plane again. So that right leg will extend. We bend the knee, stack that right hip on top of the left. Make sure you engage that left shoulder. Try to level off those hips. Now extend that right leg. We take our knee to our nose again. We push the toes away. Take that giant step forward into our crescent lunge again. So where are those arms? Draw them in line with your ears. Then we bring our prayer to our heart. So one more time, we're taking flight into warrior 3. So push off that back leg, engage the core, look straight ahead. Try not to look down. We'll extend those arms out to the side. And we're gonna take a curtsy to the right. So that left leg comes to the floor. We take a curtsy. Push off that right leg back into our warrior 3. So we'll do that 3 more times. You can keep your hands at your heart, maybe take them out to the side, but that left foot comes to the side. You curtsy, push off that right leg into Virabhadrasana 3. So we're also working on our balance here. 2 more. Left leg to the side, we curtsy, back into warrior 3. 1 more time. That left foot comes to the side, you bend both knees, curtsy into our warrior three, into our crescent lunge. So giant step back, extend. You can meet in downward dog or cycle through your vinyasa. High to low, cobra or upward dog, downward dog. Soft eye gaze, shake out that head, draw those big toes into that center plane. The left leg lifts, we bend the knee, we stack that left hip on top of the right. Left leg extends, we take one knee to nose, extend back through those toes, that giant step forward into our crescent lunge. Arms in line with those ears. Now we draw our prayer to our heart center. Push off that back leg into our Virabhadrasana 3. And from here, you take that right foot to the side of the mat, you curtsy back into warrior 3. So working on our balance, you curtsy, come back into warrior 3, take your time, wait till you find that foundation, that firmness in the leg, then the right foot to the side, and take a curtsy. Okay, 2 more. Try to level off those hips, right foot to the side, both knees bend. Last one, we're getting so strong. From warrior 3, we take that right foot to the side, we curtsy, back into warrior 3, to our crescent lunge, release those arms up, so nice, hands to the floor, left leg back, your vinyasa, high to low. Great work this morning. Cobra or upward dog, we meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. So please keep your hands where they are. We'll walk our feet 6 to 12 inches closer towards our hands. If you can walk where you can keep the feet flat on the floor, find that position. Otherwise, bend those knees as much as you need to. We'll cross that right hand towards the left ankle. Gaze under that armpit. Slow down that breath. Really creating a lot of heat in the body from those last postures. So finding that equal inhalation and exhalation. Change sides. That left hand comes on the right ankle. I can smile at my husband upside down here. We'll release that left hand to the floor. Walk your feet back into your downward dog. We'll pedal out those feet. Let's inhale the high plank. Now spin your heels to the right. I'm going to drop my right knee to the floor for modified Vashisthasana. You can stack those feet. Otherwise, that right hand's right underneath the shoulder, left hand up towards the sky. So I'm more in that gate posture or Vashisthasana. Both legs are straight. You find that balance, and I'll take that left hand up and over. I feel that gorgeous stretch from the outer edge of that left foot out through those left fingers. One more breath here. On an exhale, take that left hand down. We'll find our way into high plank, into downward dog. We'll inhale the high plank again. Now spin the heels in the opposite direction, Vashisthasana, or just take that left knee down. My right foot is rooted, right hand up towards the sky. Slow down that breath. If your legs are extended, bump your hips up. Maybe take the right hand up and over the ear. Feeling that stretch. One more full inhale. We let that go. Take the right hand on the floor. High plank to downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Now we'll take the knees to the mat. Big toes touch and pull into your first child's pose. Forehead to the mat. Walk those elbows closer towards your knees and just let the body surrender here. Watching the breath in the body. Slow down the breath. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. Maybe rock your forehead side to side. Just take 2 more breaths. And take a final full inhale. Let that go. We'll transition onto our hands and knees. Tuck those toes under. Lift the sits bones into our downward dog. Soft eye gaze at the back of the mat. Our right leg lifts. Step it forward into our warrior 2. Up and over, settle into those hips. Make sure that right knee is opening towards the right pinky toe. Lines of energy out through the fingertips as we drop those hips a little deeper. Now let's lengthen through that right leg. We'll find our triangle. So we extend, drop the hand, left hand up towards the sky. Lift through those kneecaps, really engage those quadriceps. Now we'll take the left hand on our left hip, coming into our half moon. So a slight bend in that right knee. Right hand comes in front of you on the brick, flexing that left foot, maybe extending that left hand up towards the sky. Last part of the posture is gazing towards that upper thumb. Steady breathing. Maybe bending that top knee, kicking the tree, finding that ankle. You can always elevate that right hand off the floor. Find that core. Let's take 1 more breath in. Let it go. Take a giant step back into our warrior 2. Nice, now we'll straighten that right leg. Spin the right toes in, left toes out. Find your way into warrior 2 on the other side. So make sure that left knee's tracking open to the left pinky toe. We drop our shoulders. Feel the outer edge of that right foot. Now lengthen through the left leg, bump the hips back. Find that extension into your triangle. Right hand up towards the sky. So we're not hyperextending that left leg. A slight bend in that knee. Imagine you're lifting the muscles of your quadricep up from that kneecap. And let's just take that right hand over the ear. Feel that stretch again. Feels so good in the body. And on that next breath, that right hand comes back up towards the sky. Now we'll take it on that right hip. Shift your gaze in front of your left foot. I need a little more room here. A bend in that left knee. For our half moon, Ardha Chandrasana, the top leg, that right leg comes up. I flex the foot, walking that left hand underneath your left shoulder. So when you're stacking those bones, you're finding that plumb line in the body. So you can find the balance. Option to extend that right hand. Maybe bend that top knee. Reach behind for the ankle, the top of the foot. Or you can always hover that left hand off the floor. So try something different this morning. If you fall out, you play that edge. You can unhinge that knee, finding your way back into that half moon. We take a giant step back. Find your way through your warrior 2. Nice, now straighten that left leg. We'll turn the toes in. We have that legs distance here. A full breath in. Let's invite a bend in that left elbow. That left hand comes right between your shoulder blades. Draw those floating ribs back into the body. As we move from the core, slight bend in the knees. Hinge from your hips. That beautiful long spine. So right here, I'm engaging my heels. Slight bend in the knees, take more weight into the balls of the feet as you take that beautiful forward fold. Let's let gravity just do its work. Lengthening out the spine, but soften your face. Find that breath in the body. One more inhale here. We let that go. On an inhale, just lift your heart halfway and then engage the core. We come all the way up. We'll just release the arms alongside the body. And on an inhale, extend the arms back up. This time we bend that right elbow. Take that hand right between those shoulder blades. That's where we're connecting those shoulder blades, working on strengthening those muscles. Full breath in, slight bend in the knees. Keep the weight in the balls of the feet as you hinge forward. We're just watching, being mindful of what muscles are engaging, the habitual patterns that we fall into when we're opening up the body. So mixing up the postures, going a different way. We're just creating different pathways. So just similar to you always drive to your house the same way, mix up the way you go to your house. It keeps us more engaged, more active, more mindful, less on that habitual patterns that we fall into. On an inhale, we find that halfway lift. Come all the way up. Let's release the hands, spin those heels in, bend those knees, keep those hands supported on our thighs as we'll open up that right shoulder to the left knee. Come back to center. We're reaching, toes are spread wide, back to center. Two more here. Right shoulder towards the left knee. Gorgeous, one more. We're reaching back to center. Now left shoulder to right knee. Three more. Feeling that stretch. Where do you notice it in the body? Are you feeling into the outer hips, in the shoulder, maybe the core? Let's take one more here. Really reach back to center. So we'll find some balance. So take those hands into your goalie position. Pop that right heel off the mat. Just some gentle pulsing here. Look straight ahead. Core is engaged. That right heel down, left heel pops up. Pulse. Now we keep that left heel lifted. Engage that right heel. Find your balance. 3, really nice. 2, on 1, heels down, release those arms, straighten those legs, heel toe those feet together. Samastitihi. Lots of words for me this morning. Slow down the breath. Relax the jaw. We'll flutter those eyelids open. And it's time for our dancer. So taking that right elbow towards the right hip, bend the right knee, hug those knees together, and extend that left arm. So let's stay here for one full breath in, look straight ahead, one full breath out. As we engage this posture by kicking, start with the kicking the knee behind and up. We find that bow-like position with the front body. Look straight ahead. Maybe that foot comes out of the top of your head. 2 more breaths here. Play your edge. If you fill out, just come back in. We lift, inhale. Right foot to the floor, hands to our heart center. Just pause and breathe here. Maybe bend those knees. Find that floor behind you. Notice if you're being distracted by things around you, come back to the body. We'll come to the other side. So left elbow by left hip, bend the knee. If it's challenging this morning, this is a great balance right here. If you extend that opposite hand, you're engaging different sides of the body. So stay here or engage, start with the kicking on that left side. Left knee up and toes towards the back. I can't kick any further, so I'm engaging the core. I'm reaching as hard as I'm kicking. Focused on one thing in front of me, not on the floor. Look straight ahead. Kick and reach. Kick and reach. Kick and reach. Then inhale. Ride that breath up. Release the foot, hands to our heart center. Let's split our feet and let's swing it out. Wringing out the belly, connecting with those kidneys for 3, 2, and 1. Just open. Feel that energy. So we flutter those eyelids open. Again, heel toe those feet together. Let's bend those knees, find our way into our chair position, extend, and let's take flight one more time. We'll fly like an eagle, right elbow underneath our left. That left foot's engaged. We move from our core, lift the right thigh up, over, maybe wrap, spin those knees into the center as we sit tall, feeling that great stretch behind our shoulders. Squeeze those thighs a little more as we deepen those hips. Look straight ahead. Stay here, or one more warrior 3. We unwrap that right leg. Reach your heart forward. We've been here a few times this morning. So different engagement with our arms. That left foot is balancing you. Beautiful stuff. Nice. With control, let's take that wrap back up and over. And we release everything. Sip in the breath. Samastitihi. Hands to our heart. And we'll start one more time. Other side from our chair. Fingers brush the floor. We lift our hearts. Finding eagle on the other side. Left elbow under. Right foot roots. From our core, we lift the thigh up, over, maybe wrap. Spin those knees into center. Sit tall. Push those shoulders back. Again, we find that plumb line in the body. Just pause and breathe here. Our body's twisted. We're balancing. Enjoying the stillness. Stay here or unwrap that top leg. Last Virabhadrasana 3 of the day, I promise. Hips level, heart is lifted. We play our edge. We show up, we do the best that we can do. One more breath here. And then we'll take that wrap with the left thigh up and over. So beautiful. Let's release everything. Inhale. Samastitihi. Hands come to our heart center. We'll meet at the top of our mat as we work our way to the floor. So a full inhale. Let's take a slight back bend as we fold forward. You find that halfway lift. Just step your feet back into your high plank. And we'll drop our knees, untuck the toes, and come all the way to the floor. So finding our Shalabhasana series this morning, warming up our lower back. So start with the forehead on the floor. The tops of the feet are rooted. You take your hands behind the back body, interlace the hands. Use a hand towel. You can hang on to your pants or your shirt. But the bottom body, the hips are engaged against the floor. We're just lifting our heart. So that baby cobra motion, opening up those collarbones, and slowly draw the forehead back on the floor. So just take a different grip with your fingers. Just rotate them over one more time, one finger motion to the other side. And again, we'll just lift from the back of our heart. The tops of the feet are rooted. Exhale, forehead to the floor. So we're going to engage now the tops of the thighs. So on an inhale, we lift our heart, we find that baby cobra motion. Now take the thighs off the floor. Look straight ahead, warming up that lower back. Can you lift everything a little higher? With control, release the finger grip. Let's take the left ear to the floor. Let everything release. One more breath in. Let it go. And we'll come back. Your head is looking straight ahead. So let's take our hands in front of us, about shoulders distance apart. So lifting the opposite hand and leg. It's a version of Shalabhasana here. And take the right hand and left leg to the mat. Then left arm, right leg are lifted. Take them back to the floor. On that next breath, let's lift everything. As we take flight, super person posture. Lift that back body. Breathing for 3. Engaging those back muscles 2. And on 1, let it go. Take that opposite ear to the floor. We'll bend our knees now. Gently windshield wiper the feet side to side. And we're all set up for our floor bow. So knees are bent. You can use a strap around your ankles or take hold of the tops of the feet, the ankles. Walk those knees in. I like to flex my feet here. And on that in-breath, let's lift everything, the chest and the thighs off the floor. Ride that breath so we find a little more opening as we come deeper into the posture. Keeping that breath consistent. Take one more inhale. Let's let it go. Release everything. Take that opposite ear to the floor. Let's just sigh it out. One big breath in. One more inhale. Let it go. Looks like Bill wants to do one more floor bow.
No, I was doing both sides.
Oh, he's doing both sides. But I want to do one more floor bow. So we're going to bend those knees one more time. Walk those knees in towards one another. Hang on to the heels, the ankles, that strap. On the inhalation, lift everything off the floor. So focusing a lot on the back muscles this morning and balance. Let's take 2 more breaths here. We take a final full inhale. Let that go. Release, extend those legs. We'll just take our hands in line with our chest. Really nice work. We'll push onto our hands and knees. Cross your ankles. Let's roll onto our backs. Hug those knees into our chest. And let's take that right ankle on the left thigh. Gently take some pressure in the inner right knee. As you draw that knee across the body, we flex that right foot. Now invite that left knee in. So we're just creating a little more space on the right side of the body so we can open up that side body as we engage that left knee in. Relax your face. Flexing both feet. Our jaw is soft. Take another inhale here. Let's let that go. We'll just cross that right thigh on top of the left. Those eagle legs we explored earlier. Take the hips to the right side of the mat. You can cactus those hands. We encourage those knees to fall to the left side of the mat. So if this is too intense of a stretch for you, just unwrap those legs. Last part of this posture is gazing over that right shoulder. Stay here for 2 more breaths. And we'll draw those knees back to center. Unwrap. Find both feet flat on the floor as we transition to that other side. So the left ankle comes on the right knee. Bend that right knee before you reach behind the calf or behind the knee. Encourage that left knee open. So I'm just adding a little light pressure. So we're keeping the left side body long. Now we're encouraging that right knee in towards our chest. So our feet are flexed. Relax your face. The tongue is soft. The skin on the forehead is neutral. Let's hug that knee in a little closer. Now we'll begin taking the wrap with that left thigh. So eagle legs here, bumping the hips to the left side of the mat. You can cactus those hands and just draw those knees across the body. Support the knees with the brick. Find that resistance. Maybe take your gaze over that opposite shoulder. Relax your face. Let's take one more inhale. Let that go. We unwrap and draw those knees back in towards the body. Shake out that head side to side, and we'll rock backwards and forwards here. Finding those sits bones, let's take that right foot in the inner left thigh. Flex that left foot, find those sits bones. We take a full breath in. Draw that, imagine that navel's coming over that left thigh as we extend over that left leg, forehead towards the shin. Breathe on that back body. Allow those shoulders to relax away from your ears. Sipping in that inhalation and exhalation. Let's take one more breath in. We let that go. Inhale, let's lift our heart. Now we'll take that right foot outside the left knee. You can keep that leg straight or bend that left knee. Find both sits bones and we'll find the twist with that left arm up, elbow outside the knee as you twist over that right shoulder. We breathe in and we twist. Our heart lifts. We twist over that right shoulder. Can you find the traction of the right foot against the floor? One more inhale. We'll twist. Let's take the counter twist in the other direction. Unwrap the legs, extend them, shake them out, and we'll find that left foot in the inner right thigh. Find both sits bones. We flex that right foot, full inhale. Now imagine that navel coming over the right thigh as we extend, soften, let go here. So noticing what muscles are engaged, the lower back, the hip, the quadricep, the ankle, shoulders are relaxed. Lift our heart. Now that left foot comes on the outside of the right knee. You keep that bottom leg straight, or maybe bend the knee. Draw that heel in towards the bottom. Both sits bones are rooted. We extend that opposite hand. Take the elbow outside the knee. We use that traction to spin. So we inhale, we lift. We spin over that opposite shoulder. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, gently twist. 1 more breath in. Nice, we twist over that left shoulder. Let's take a counter twist in the opposite direction. Back to center, unwrap those legs. 2 more postures here. We have our Paschimottanasana, that intense back stretch on the west side of the body. Let it go. Slowing the breath. Take a final full inhale here. Nice long exhale. Our heart lifts, we extend those arms in front of us. We slowly come onto the back body. We have one last posture. Let's find our happy baby. Finding the inner arches of the feet. Those knees are heavy, feet are flexed. Allow those inner groins to loosen, to let go. Maybe straighten one leg out. And when you're ready, slowly release the feet to the floor. Take up a lot of space. Allow those toes to fall out, palms up towards the sky as you let go of any control of your breath. Find that next incoming breath. Nice long audible exhalation. Squeeze all the air out of the belly. Gently add movement to your fingers and toes. We'll extend those arms up overhead one more time. And just gently roll onto either side of the body. Finding that beautiful tight ball of light. Stay there or find your way into a comfortable seated position. Hands at your heart center. I'm going to quote this morning on gratitude. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Melody Beattie. So with gratitude in our hearts, let's bring our hands to our heart center. We're so grateful for having this time to share with you. Just grateful for these bodies that bring us throughout our day, and just grateful for this life that we have. So we'll seal class with one beautiful Om. We sip in an inhale. And namaste. Thanks, everyone. That was an interesting song this morning, Bugs.
Yeah, it's a new one.
I'm not sure what that was, but it was free flowing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Nice